Wonderful. Welcome along to Business Spotlight. Today, we are joined by Alex Reid of Butterfly. Hello and welcome, Alex. Let's jump straight in. Please introduce yourself. Tell us what you do and how long you've been doing it for.
Hello, thank you, Hannah, for the intro. Yeah, my name's Alex. Uh, I am co-founder of Butterfly. We The idea sort of came around a year ago now, so quite short. But yeah, it's been really fun so far. Essentially, we've created a university exclusive social media. And we released that to the University of Warwick in September. And yeah, the students love it. So we're planning a UK expansion now.
Amazing. So you've been going for about a year and it's exclusive social media released in Warwick with the plan to expand into the UK. That's so exciting. What made you start the business? What motivated you to start?
Yeah, so just a bit more about like what it is specifically.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm a uni student myself. Um, and when you go to uni, you have your campus community. It might be a city uni, so you just have like your friends and your societies and everything. Um, so what Butterfly is an app which centralizes everything, your entire university experience. Um, so you'll get this app, will verify your student email. You'll head in, you'll be able to see, everyone on your course, um, everyone in your accommodation or your shared interests. It basically it reduces the barriers, like those initial frictions when you get into uni, when you're feeling a bit socially anxious. It reduces all those and gets you going with the community.
That's amazing. That is amazing. An instant icebreaker, considering when we walk into a room and we catch eyes with one or two people, what you're giving the students is the ability to catch eyes with everybody in their community. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean it's especially useful for international students, I think. Just I'm not personally an international student, but I've talked with a lot of people from China, from Europe who they'll apply to the UK. It's a very new environment for them, and they'll be scared. And what Butterfly allows you to do essentially is as soon as you get your university email, which is normally August, early September period, you can hop on Butterfly and start making friends before you come to uni. So before you fly over and sort of have to get you know all of these new things in gear and this new environment and work everything out, you've already got a buddy or two that can help you with that.
Brilliant. So you can start the uni experience before you hit the campus. Where did the name Butterfly come from? I've got something in my mind, but yeah, where did the name Butterfly come from?
Yeah, so Josh came up with that name.
Yeah,
And then we were like, yeah, that's quite cool. Um, initially initially it was like social butterfly.
that's what I was thinking. That's
Um,
exactly what I was thinking. Amazing.
so that's sort of, yeah, we just liked how it ties in with our mission of like bringing people together. Um, and yeah, I mean, there were some different names passed around. Like we initially we didn't start with Butterfly.
Okay.
Initially it was, God, there's a long story behind the whole inception of this the company. But basically we were coding and Josh came up with this cool algorithm, this sorting algorithm.
Okay.
And what this sorting algorithm essentially does, it gets like an unsorted list, and it sorts it in a very efficient way. And we were like, yo, this is so cool. We should definitely patent this and like sell it or somehow.
Yeah.
Um, but we ended up like spinning that off into Butterfly. It's a very tenuous link, right? But we were like, let's make an app out of this. And it turned out like at the start we were just ranking whatever we could,
Mhm.
and then it turned into, okay, what can we actually rank? Like, of course, like we're students, so I guess availability bias, the only thing around us was students and the community. And we
Yeah.
just started talking about like what we wanted as students. Um, and out came Butterfly.
No, I
So
love
that's
it.
quite a convoluted explanation, but that's how it happens.
No, that's great. And was the motivation behind that because your first experiences? I know obviously that you had the algorithm and you looked around you and you had access to students, but how did you find your initial experience going onto the campus first time? Did that have some inspiration, some insight into why Butterfly was created?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I was super anxious
Yeah.
coming to uni. Um, I didn't know anyone. I sort of just coming to uni, blind. I had done some research into like WhatsApp group chats and stuff online, and like Facebook groups, but like, I didn't really find anything. Like I couldn't like connect with anyone before. There wasn't that platform in place. Um, so yeah, a lot of the inspiration just came from our experience, or sort of our frustration almost of not
Yeah.
having that platform in place.
Yeah. Yeah, which is it's that's a common theme with entrepreneurs. You know, there will be this frustration, and from that energy, from that frustrated energy, is born such brilliant ideas, such fantastic ideas. So no, I absolutely love the idea of Butterfly. Tell me, has it been everything? Creating the business, running the business, has it been everything that you'd hoped it would be?
Yeah, I mean, again, like what Butterfly was and what it is now, it's changed so much already. So like I would have never expected it like us to be where we are now last year.
Yeah.
Last year it was just an idea. Me and a couple mates in a room, like just talking about some cool stuff. We draw diagrams on the whiteboard and be like, yeah, it'd be like this. And we didn't have anything. And then over summer 2022, we just well, Josh actually, just started grinding the programming and the coding. Um, and then I hopped on board with him, and we grinded this app out. Um, and we ended up releasing it, and we're like, okay, wow, we actually did it. And then people liked it, and then suddenly this is now like our thing.
Mm.
Like it's become our identity in a way. And yeah, I really like it so far.
Accidentally on purpose started a business. I love it. I think it's brilliant. Um, when I think of industry and sort of competition for you guys, Facebook is kind of coming up, and especially your journey sat in a room and sort of creating the business at university certainly does have some similarities to Facebook. But what is it that you do that makes you stand out in your industry?
Yeah, so of course everyone's seen, was it The Social Network, right?
Yeah.
Guiltily, I only watched half of it. I should definitely finish it. I think it's be a good case study to look at for my business as well.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, they started with unis. We're also starting with unis, and we're ending with unis. That's the plan.
Okay.
So we have our niche, um, relative to Facebook, where it's available to everyone. Um, I, as a student, would rather have something that's more like grounded in my community.
Mhm.
Um, of course, like the value of a social media is naturally proportional to how many people are using it. Um, so, our main, you could call it USP, is that we can target student pain points directly, whereas Facebook targets general pain points of like communication in general. So specifically what I'm talking about is uni events, societies,
Mhm.
um, meeting people at uni, and yeah, just like very student specific things. And in the future, we've got a lot of plans to do like alumni features. Um, Basically, yeah, just the fact that we're centered around students gives us that it's not really an advantage, it's just more like a niche. But yeah, and we've also integrated student discounts into our app, of
Okay.
which we currently have 60 or just over 60. And that's just, I'll go out and I'll call some businesses and be like, hey, would you like to partner with us? We've got this cool app, and businesses see the students and they're like, yeah, I quite like to advertise my business, and the students win, the business wins. So far that there isn't really any social media out there that integrates um both like the student community side and discounts in one go. You've got student discounts, you've got, of course, like uni days and student beans. Um, but the problem with those is like they're sort of like a one-time use type thing. If I'm not sure if you've used student beans or uni days before.
I haven't. No, I haven't.
But yeah, they're basically a fat catalog of discounts that students can access. And they're very popular among students. But yeah, students will tend to use those just once, maybe a week, because there's no additional incentive to use the app and like meet people or anything. So we're sort of combining these two spheres. Um, the hope is, you'll meet someone on Butterfly, you'll go to a partner business, maybe for like you could go bowling or something. We're currently partnered with 10 Pin Bowling. Um, and yeah, just make new connections and enrich your university experience that way.
I think it's brilliant. I think it's absolutely brilliant. And you've got 60 sign-ups from businesses already. So that's an amazing amount in a very short space of time. So you said that it's been the last year that Butterfly has been evolving. On that point, what would you attribute your growth to? What's been that sort of key moment where it's exploded?
Uh it's sort of hard to say. Like I would draw the analogy, um I think it was Picasso. He like drew like a rectangle or something, and he said it was worth like a shit ton of money. Um, Really, that was just I've butchered this analogy, but basically, Picasso had done so many years of training to get to where he was. And even though the painting or the drawing he did only took like, let's say, 30 seconds, right? It was all the preparation, all the strategy, um, all the hard work that went into that 1 minute to do like this quick drawing,
Okay.
that really counted. So I'd say the initial explosion for us was when we was like launched the app, and we were like, wow, like people are actually downloading it. The Warwick community loves it. Our friends are using it. So
Okay.
that was crazy. But it was the work that we'd put in over the summer that allowed that to happen. Um, it's sort of like the work that you put in, and you're not even sure if it's gonna like become anything, or if anyone's gonna use your product. Um, I guess that's the risk you take as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think if Picasso, I'm hearing just with your analogy, and I will look this up actually because that it's really intrigued my interest. Do you think he drew a rectangle, sort of a simple shape, a simple painting?
Yeah,
Do you think?
I'm not sure actually what the exact story was. Yeah, he just drew
We'll
something like
find it's
really
a triangle
simple.
now. We'll find it's a triangle when we get on there. But do you think what he was maybe alluding to is that we overthink things sometimes? And really, if we simplify it and just go with it, just see
Mm.
what happens, that's actually just as powerful potentially.
Yeah, I think that's a impactful interpretation, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very interesting story. So I will look, I'll feedback what the shape is after I find out. So you're
Awesome.
obviously at university, you're running your own business as well with Butterfly. How do you balance your personal life with the demands of running the business?
Yeah, I like being busy.
Yeah.
I like I like doing things. I like meeting people. Um, so yeah, I've got a lot on. It's not always easy. My degree is currently on the back burner. Yeah. So, of course, we started Butterfly last year, and ever since it's sort of been ramping up. And of course, after we released the app, now Josh, Zane, and I, we're pretty much doing it as like a full-time job.
Okay.
Um, so like I just every day I'll be doing tasks for Butterfly. It might be admin, it might be coding, sales work with the businesses. Um, and I'll also be, trying to do well on my degree. Um, I think what helps me the most is that my degree is mostly online.
Okay.
So I don't have to go in person to campus and like do all my lectures and whatnot there. So I save a lot of time. Uh, but yeah, like just time management in general is really key, I think.
Mm. Yeah, I think managing your energy with both sounds like it would be something that you need to balance as well. So no, thank you for sharing. Tell me, what has been your biggest learning over the last year with Butterfly?
Well, I've never started um like a proper business before. I did do like a little blog project. Um, but I'd say what I've learned the most is like working with people properly.
Okay.
We we have 17 people in our team. Um, and like getting to know what people want out of the company and sort of like how we can make everyone happy, whilst also making it super fun and like motivating for everyone has been the biggest learning curve. Because I think initially when we started, I was very bad at managing people. I think it's not something that is easy to grasp. If you've never done it before, it's definitely something you need like the experience of.
Mm.
Um, so that was the biggest learning curve for me.
Yeah, I think what's really, really interesting there that you've just said is that working with 17 people, which is a huge team. So congratulations on that over the last year. 17 people is a magnificent team. Your grasp on understanding what they want from the company and making it fun is highly commendable. That's not something that is common. So what was the trigger point where you thought, right, I need to understand what they want and to make it fun? If the managing people to start off with was a uncomfortable, difficult thing to grasp, what was the trigger? What was the turning point?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, like I'm still learning. I'm not gonna say I'm some management guru. Um, and like it's never I don't think I'll ever be a perfect, quote unquote, perfect manager. But I think it's just for me it wasn't really like a turning point at all. It was sort of like just trial and error, seeing what worked and what didn't, because I'd never done it before. And then just adaptively changing my approach depending on, of course, like if it worked and if it didn't.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Let me make that more concrete. I'll give you some examples. So, initially we started with one partnership.
Right.
And that was back in September. I'm talking about like sort of our local business partnerships. And, we go on for around 3-4 months. And we don't get really any more partnerships at all. We basically had we have like a partnerships team which I was in charge of, right? And we had one guy sort of in our early stages running that as well. And yeah, it didn't progress at all. And I found myself like just like instructing this other guy, being like, yeah, like you should do this and this, and go out there and try and contact these places. And then he'd be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I was saying it before having actually done any work on it myself. So it was coming from a place of I just feel like if you want to inspire other people to act and like be motivated, you need to have shown them that you've done it and you are passionate about it and you're not just telling them what to do because you don't want to do it. So using this just do it approach, this January, and going into February, I just went out and onboarded 50 partners myself. And now the team is super motivated basically, and they've started like getting into the partnerships work. Because I feel like when you have like the accolades and when you've sort of proven that you've done it, it's easier to then show other people that it's possible, and they'll be more on board with it too.
Yeah, definitely. It certainly builds trust, doesn't it? It builds trust that it's coming from a place of this is what I found whilst doing it, as opposed to the just do it type mentality, which is brilliant. No, that's fab. So where do you see yourself, Alex? Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? And would you have any words of advice for any other business owners who are looking to grow and make substantial growth like you have over the next year?
Substantial growth is a very high praise. Thank you. We're in terms of like personally where I see myself, I think whilst I'm young, I want to take risk. Before Butterfly, I wanted to go into finance, like the classic corporate route. But this opportunity came, and I think I wouldn't want to do something super risky when I'm older.
Okay.
So I'm willing to sort of go for that risk and get the potential reward. And I think so long as you're doing something that you believe will have a true impact and that you really enjoy, that reward will be intrinsic. So in terms of like advice to other business owners, yeah, just go with your own risk reward profile. In terms of scaling, I mean, yeah, what worked for us was just having like a really good product that people would naturally demand. Was it like it very much depends on your context. So like I couldn't really give any advice to business owners that were selling a goods, or you know, doing consulting or whatever. So yeah, get to know like the major factors that influence your specific niche.
Mhm.
And then yeah, just I mean, what we did is we just became sort of obsessed with that, and really went for it.
I love that. Become obsessed with your specific niche. I love that. I think that's absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us today. That brings Business Spotlight to a close. Alex, I cannot wait to share your business adventure with our community. So thanks, and I'll look forward to catching up again soon.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for having me, Hannah.
Thank you. Thanks.